Back.
style
We
too.
had some technical
Initially,
difficulties, lost power, but hey, the show continues and stuff.
Yep. In fact, we continued without you, the
we did.
audience. So,
Topical and I were still debating graphical power and Final Fantasies and
I
stuff
mean,
like
I,
that.
I still
About
contend
this
that
now.
Final Fantasy is known by most people, I think, to be top-notch graphics.
I mean, and
Whatever
my thing
that
is,
meant.
I still think technically they are. It's just that the my thing is still like everyone is like doing it now. It's kind of hard to be like they can only push it so much, and not only that, I think half the time they don't even use their own engines anymore because they've just I think they've just gotten tired of taking so long. They're just like, you
Well,
know what,
so
somebody
15
else's
is
crap.
still their own engine, though, right?
From my understanding, it might be like half and half now or something. It's some weirdness going on
Is
after
that, well,
after the director switched again.
I
So
did
I
notice some Unreal pop-in the demo, so maybe.
think, yeah, because I think there was some changes going on once they kept switching directors and stuff. So it may not be Luminous anymore. I'm not sure though. Like, don't quote me on that.
But yeah, like in during the break, which you guys didn't hear, I started looking up RPGs that were out at the same time as Final Fantasy X, and none of them. I don't think any of them. Like if we talked about them today, we might remember those games as being really awesome or super good, but I don't think graphically would have said any of them were as impressive as Final Fantasy X was.
I mean,
And okay, so totally unscientific. This is one list that I'm looking at, and they list um,
oh wait, where'd you find this list by the way? Because I need to see this list of
RPGs
games.
from 2001 is what I searched, and it was the first one, I think. Boulder's Gate, Dark Alliance was that at that time. Shadow Hearts was at that time, the first one.
Oh, the first. Okay, yeah.
Dark Age of Camelot. For some
Um,
reason, they listed Ico. It's not really an
that's not an
RPG.
RPG. Not an RPG at all.
Let's see. Oh, here's the wiki page. There's probably a lot of them here. Um, yes, there's probably too many. Breath of Fire 4 was at that time.
Is that Breath of Fire 4? I could have sworn I played. I might have
That
played
was
that
the
one.
one with the really dark cover that had like orange and yellow on it, I think.
Uh,
I actually never played it. Like, I just remember the
uh,
box looked like.
I'm like, wait a minute, what? Because one of them like was like super rare or something. But I think there might have been more than one called four though. Because the one I have might not be the same Breath of Fire
Breath of
4.
Fire 4 is on PS1, isn't it?
Oh, the one I have is
Because
not
I think
that
5 is Dragon Quarter.
Oh, right.
Dragon Quarter.
Sorry.
That's what it was.
That's the PS1 one. Oops. Wrong system. Okay. Dark Cloud.
Oh, I love that game.
Uh, Dragon Quest 7.
Yeah,
Nope, that's PS1.
that's. No, I was just want to say,
It's like
is it possible to look up PS2 RPGs from 2001? Because it's like, because I think a lot of
this
them were
is
still.
a very extensive list.
It's like I think a lot of them were gonna be because this is like right around the switching thingy or something. Yeah, Dragon Quarter is the one I was thinking of because that's the one I have. So
So looking 2001. Uh, Growlancer 2. Did that ever come
uh,
up here?
that is it. I think it did like much later on though because they released it as like a compilation because I have that one,
Okay.
but it was not we didn't have it at the time though. So
Legaia 2 Dual Saga. That came out here,
uh,
right?
yes, I have that one. So it had to, but yeah.
Um,
They were, I mean, the Legaia series was another one that was pretty, I mean, for the time was pretty graphically impressive because they even went through the trouble to like the characters like doing, like actually showing their equipment on them whenever they changed equipment and stuff. So a lot of people made a big fuss about that. Well, the people that played it anyway, because I mean, it was pretty sleeper hitty. So
uh,
a lot of but yeah.
I think
Whole
there's another
bunch
game
of
that does
older.
that with the equipment changing, like showing up. It's called Magna Carta, maybe? I don't remember. I had to look it up.
I have that one. Oh, wait, is it Tears of Blood? Wait, is that one? Because I have
I don't think so. It's
one.
on PS2. I don't remember. I'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, because I have that one.
What was it called?
Tears of Blood, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I could just walk over to my collection thingy and look it up.
Oh man, my PS4 since it's been, I hope it didn't break.
I don't think that would have
It'll be
broken.
fine.
Well, Tears of Blood was released in 2004. So yeah, it was the Phantom of Avalanche or something. So that was the first one. There's some crap. That one I do not have. So, but yes, I forgot where we were going with this.
Yeah, well, I don't know, Tekken, like, what was your impression back? Like, when you think of Final Fantasy, what do you think of? Because I always think of the graphics. Like,
I
Final
think of
Fantasy
turn-based
8.
combat, epic adventures with an airship, an overworld, which is why I didn't like 13.
Wait, did all of them have airships? Huh.
Since
Or some sort of like transportation vehicle.
Well, no, because I think earlier ones had. Because I'm pretty sure 4 had
I know
like a
6 did,
precursor to
right?
them anyway. Yeah. So, maybe. I don't know. I think although in 4 they might have been literal ships that were in the air.
I guess another thing, like, back then, Final Fantasy was basically the name in RPGs, in the US anyway, since 7.
Also, amazing
Excuse me.
soundtracks by Nobuo Uematsu.
I guess that's true.
Oh wait, I think it's no, is it this one? It might be
I
Raging Out
did
of
not
Space.
notice the soundtrack in the 15th demo, so I don't know if that's
Not a good sign.
Yeah. Like, I think Phantasy Star Online was Dreamcast's big thing, and like for a while, Grandia 2 I think was on Sega systems, right?
2 was on Dreamcast, and then it later got ported to PS2.
Okay.
Yeah,
And 3 was on PS2. Or
So
Extreme
that-
came out before that, though.
But like,
the-
other than those, I think everything else was like things like Golden Sun, and then, well, I guess everything else was sort of lesser known stuff that only RPG remembers these days, as actually having played. I remember them. I just haven't played any.
It's like I knew they existed.
Yeah. I know of them.
I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. Like I said, it's like a lot of things. It's like it's kind of hard because I mean, at the time, yeah, I guess like because a lot of other series are still doing the whole like sprite stuff before they were like, oh well, I mean, now Square Enix is doing it, so we could probably go ahead and jump on that bandwagon real quick. But I think it may have been why at the time they seemed more, I guess, impressive. Because like when 7 came out, people were still doing the 8-bit thing, and then it's like 10 came out, people were just jumping onto like 7's bandwagon, and it's like, okay, we're a little behind, guys. But now it's like the people are starting to kind of catch up, especially since development time is taking so long now. So it's like,
So,
we can do it
like with 13, like even 13, I think is still,
Polarizing.
or
Divisive.
not.
Well,
Like, just speaking graphically, like I think it's still one of the best looking
Yeah.
games out there, right?
well, I mean,
I liked it.
Because I'm trying to think of a game that impresses graphically the way 13 does on PS3 and Xbox 360.
well, I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head only because, I mean, I was impressed with 13 only because I was waiting for it so long. But just like, I don't know, I would have to.
I mean, even 13.2 and Lightning Returns didn't look as good as 13. 13 was amazing looking.
Well, I think they switched, or those got switched to Unreal or something, or the third one did anyway. I think because 13 was its own engine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Was there? Or
Or it could just be because you're already used to 13, so
I
you're
don't
like,
know,
well,
what's the best looking game you can think of
on the PS3.
on the PS3? Yeah.
I don't know. Metal Gear Solid 4 looked pretty awesome. So, I mean,
Okay.
but like I said, once again, like with 13, it's like it was those set pieces that were just like, holy crap, this is happening right now. So I don't know. I don't know. But there are a lot of pretty games on the PS3 though. 'Cause like I said, Metal Gear Solid 4 looked good, and I mean, I'm sure there were other things that weren't those two games. But
I'm trying to think of games that looked just ridiculously amazing for the hardware. It was like, this should not exist. And like 13 strikes me in that way. Metal Gear, yeah, I guess there are parts that also have that effect. And then I'm kind of blanking on anything else.
I'm sure there were things. There are probably Elder Scrolls game or something that came out that everybody was raving about.
See, like,
so.
Elder Scrolls games don't look good, I don't think. Like,
Nope.
people
So
give
either.
them a pass, I think, because they're open world, and they're like, oh yeah, it looks so... You know why it looks so good? Look how far you can see. Like, that's it? Like, that is your measurement?
Well, that was my whole thing. Well, that's a conversation for a different podcast. It's like me and open world games. Don't even get me started. It's like,
I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5, maybe? But...
oh yeah, I forgot about that. There was that. People were pretty big on Grand Theft Auto's graphics too. I mean, I've only played like
same.
part of 4 though, so I don't know. I'm not like I don't follow the series, so I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like, I'm not saying other games are bad looking. I'm just saying that Final Fantasy 13 looked, I think, better than almost all of them. I mean, even Gran Turismo 6, like, or the Gran Turismo games, there are parts that don't look quite as good. Like, they're good looking games, but they're not just ridiculously, this should not exist type good looking games.
The only things from Gran Turismo I ever saw was like Tekken posting like screenshots of them, and I was like, wow, these look ridiculous. So I've never actually seen them in motion or anything. So from my understanding, they looked really good. So I don't know. I haven't played them hands on or anything. So, but they looked pretty in pictures. So I'm assuming they looked that good when you played them.
Yeah, anyway, that's we could go on forever. Or we could, research it and figure it out objectively.
That sounds like work.
That would take a long time as well.
Right?
So we're just not gonna do that and talk about Type 0, which I just started after I cleared some space. And
why don't you just get a new hard drive, Tropical? You're killing me right now.
well, there are reasons why I can't right now, but yeah, once I can, then we will see. Otherwise, I'm just gonna bust out my other.
Oh yeah, you do have the other PS4. Sorry about that.
And use that one for all the disc games, and this one
Your
for
back
all
hard
disc
drives.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. We'll just lead this.
When I actually play it, then
Lead this into RPG then, because he's probably played a lot more than I have.
I can guarantee
quite
that.
It's quite interesting. It's very complicated, and I guess you guys missed this part too. You can choose language now in Final Fantasy games, the spoken language, which was really I like that a lot, and I think 13 had it. Lightning Returns had it also, but it was like a downloadable.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas with 15's demo and Type 0, you can just switch it in the menus. It's like, oh, this is neat. You can actually switch it to a totally Japanese game if you wanted to. But I was like, yeah, that's too much work.
Well, if you understand that. For those of us who don't know Japanese, we don't have that option.
Well, so I gotta say, like, it was very confusing because the dialogue is different in Japanese than the subtitles are saying. They say very Japanese type stuff in Japanese, like, and I guess those things don't sound cool in English, so the subtitles have cooler things for them to say.
Do you have an example about it? Because I mean, there were some things in the English dialogue that I was kind of iffy on with some of the characters, and so that might actually explain a lot.
Well, I mean, if you can think of something from the first chapter, I can tell you what
that was like 12 chapters ago. Tropical.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. No, it was for example, like in the beginning, there's like a dying soldier, and in Japanese, he said like reinforcement guys come, and in Japanese he says, "I'm glad you guys came," as he's dying, and in English it was like, "Oh, I knew I could count on you."
Oh,
and it's just like a more, I guess, warrior-ish thing to say. Whereas it's just like, oh yeah, my buddies are here. I'm glad you came. I'm gonna die now.
I'm gonna die. Yeah, that's another thing. That game, I mean, I guess they decided to go ahead and get out their M-rated stuff like from the get-go. They're like, yeah, we did it. We might as well go ahead and give it to everybody. And it's like people getting burned alive and shot and stabbed. It's like, oh, okay. This seems unnecessary, but okay. So, yeah.
Oh wait, God of War 3.
Oh yeah. See?
Yeah. Oh, and the Uncharted games. All right. So yeah, so it's like The Last of Us. All first party, I suppose. So as far as third party, anyway.
Well,
Type Zero.
I was just about to say,
combat is, again, and I guess, my first taste of this stuff was actually my first taste was my brother had borrowed my PSP for a long time, and when I finally got it back, it was like super beat up and apparently modded. So he was playing Type Zero on a PSP, and so I was like, oh man, I've heard so much about this game never coming here. So I checked it out a little bit, and it was like overwhelming. He had beat it, and so I had no idea what was going on, or it was just
the demo in Japanese. So that was fun to try to do.
On the Type Zero.
Yeah, it's like, I don't understand what's going on, but I think I'm winning, so it's okay. But yeah, as a matter of fact, I think I just got to one of the missions that was in one of the demos too. So I was like, haha, I remember this. But,
yeah. Well, I guess so. One of my problems with the combat in both of the games is like it's hard to tell when you're getting hit.
How?
And again, this is really early on, so maybe the enemies aren't really hitting me that hard. But I'll be getting hit, and I won't know it until at one point I'll glance down at my health bar. It's like, wow, who hit me? Like, I don't remember any of that.
Huh. Interesting. I guess. I'm not sure how you would notice that. It's like...
Well, like later when I noticed it, it's just like the soldiers are shooting at you, and there'll be little numbers popping up, and that's pretty much it. And I was just like, it feels weird because I guess, it feels kind of like an action game, and usually when you get hit in an action game,
when they get shot,
they do what? They flinch? Do they?
Yeah.
Huh.
Especially if it's like I don't know.
Like when bigger things hit me, I notice.
Well, no, I would hope so.
Or when you get hit, but like just the regular soldiers shooting at me, is like, I got hit. It's like, that's weird.
When you're getting shot.
Huh. Because they're constantly playing the attack animations too, or because I was using Ace, and so I'm standing at a distance as well, and he's just like constantly swinging his arms, throwing stuff.
Throwing cards all over the place. His attack style is weird.
So it's not like he would have been motionless. Yeah, it was like I
Maybe
didn't
that's
notice
why he
getting hit at
didn't
all, and
know
then it's like, oh my gosh, I'm almost dead.
That is great. It's like you're too busy seeing the arm flailing to realize that you're being shot. It's like- although it could be part of the, I don't know. It could just play into like a story thing too, because they do have they do have a habit of doing that, where they like integrate stuff like that. But that's a story for when you're further along.
Yes, there are many mysteries. I am very interested. Like, it seems very political at the beginning, or not political. There's a lot of backstory that has to do with countries and names you've never heard of, and they just use them as if you have heard of them.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too, because I was like, when I was playing and they keep on bringing up these names, I was like, there's so many terms.
Like,
I was like, guys, no, one thing at a time. Because I think like even if you don't watch the two cutscenes before the actual like menu startup, it's, I mean, those give like some background, so you have like a general idea. It's like, oh, okay, but it's like if you just jump right into it without watching those, they just start throwing stuff in there. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know which country this is and what's happening right now. So, yeah. Did you watch those, by the way? Or
yeah.
Did you? Oh, okay.
Oh, except wait, no, never mind. Yeah, I did watch them.
No.
It's quite long. And I was like, oh, this is before the title screen.
Things that people usually skip. So.
Are you doing that because I'm typing?
Yes.
I was gonna say like I couldn't stop thinking about it. The whole like the game where like
I don't think-
your characters equip stuff and you see it.
I don't think
it
it
might
was-
have been Radio Out of Stories instead of Magna Carta. It's bugging me. It's
'cause
bugging me now. It's scratching at
have
my
that.
brain. I can't stop thinking about it. It's like I can't stop looking it up and like I have to find it what it is.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it though, because I have that one. Wait, maybe that is it. Check it and see. Just check it and see real quick. We'll keep talking about stuff.
Check what?
Just go check Radio Out of Stories and see. Just check a page on it.
I
And
think it might be because I was looking up stuff on it and it looks like it might be, but I can't find. Like the thing is, like back in the day, I knew what it was because it was on like one of my Amazon wish lists, and like I would go there and like one of the reviews or whatever. I was like, oh, you can blah 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 blah. But there's been so many reviews since then. I like don't know if that's the right one. So I was like, ah,
no.
it like got pushed away or to the bottom. So, but then also, I like the ones I was reading. It said you could also do that in Rogue Galaxy as well. So, but it's not that
I
good
have.
because that's not the one I was thinking of. But there's like a specific JRPG I know you could do that in. What?
I just know the Legaia series. I mean, well, Legend of Legaia did it, and people were kind of made a big deal about it at the time because. Yeah.
I just know it was a PS2 game because I was like, man, it'd be awesome if more games did this, but then none of them do. So.
Because that requires Tekken. So.
And I have all these PS2 games popping up on my Amazon. It's making me feel all nostalgic and I want to buy them. I know I don't have the time to play them. Now I'm all sad. It's like, ah, why don't they make games like this anymore? Ah.
Don't do that.
Arc the Lad Twilight of the Spirits. Ah, so good. Oh my gosh.
Was it though? Was it?
The bit of it I played before I stopped. Yes.
Oh. I like Shadow Hearts is my response to that. So I don't know. But okay, continue, Tropical. Sorry.
No, well, like that's pretty much all I've been playing because I haven't gotten that far in Type 0, so I don't
How
have
far
any
is
more to
not
say.
Far.
Basically, I finished chapter 1.
Oh.
Yes. I finished chapter 1, then I was like, okay, I have a goal to finish The Walking Dead, so I'm going to do that. And I started, and I was like, I'm only on episode 4, which means 2 more episodes. It's like, oh, no, wait, there's 400 days, too. It's like, so 3 more episodes. So that'll be like 6 hours. Like, So, yeah, 6 hours spent playing a game I've already played in the exact same way that I already played it in, because that's how I want to do it. It was still really good, so that was nice. it was nice to relive that. But yeah, that is time that I did not spend playing Type Zero or anything else.
I gotta say, gaming industry was way better when Japanese developers and publishers were driving it, and not the Americans. Just saying, I'm looking at all these games, I'm getting all sad and nostalgic, and it's depressing. It's like, what happened?
Oh dear.
Where'd they all
You're
go?
gonna open up a can of worms you don't want to do, Tekken. You don't want to open up that can of
Oh,
worms.
now it's
I
time to shoot
opened it.
people in the face, and kill aliens and terrorists. Ugh.
Do you guys remember how many PS2 games I bought in that madness that
It
happened
was
that
a
one
lot,
time?
Tropical. Cause
A lot.
Not only did I buy more, multiple, like too many than I should have PS2 games. I bought like 5 PS2s. It's like, Tropical, what are you doing? Stop it.
It's like you're doing it all wrong, Tropical. You don't need a console for every game. You just need multiple games for one console.
Is that how it works? Oh,
Doing it all wrong.
Tekken 5 was so good.
it was, yeah, it was a really,
The PS2 era was awesome.
it was really nice.
Onimusha 3, oh my gosh.
Didn't they make a new one of those, or were there supposed
there's
to be
a
a new one?
fourth
Because I
one.
had
There's
Dawn
a
of
fighting
the.
game one with all the characters in it.
Oh yeah,
Because I think I have the fourth one. Wait, is that the fourth one? Like
I don't-
Dawn of Dreams?
Yeah, Dawn
That's
of
what
Dreams
it's
is the
called.
fourth one.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I have that one.
I think I only have the first one and the third one.
Oh man,
I
did you
have
rather have
3,
it?
4. I did play the first two.
The third one was really cool.
I think I liked them because they reminded me of Devil May Cry, except with samurais or something. So
History. You know the history, right? Like all those were spin-offs of Resident Evil. Like they wanted to make other Resident Evils, and Onimusha became one of them, and Devil May Cry was the other one.
I didn't know that.
really? Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
can see Devil May Cry, but Onimusha, really?
Well, you know, like the play style, it's sort of the fixed camera angles and all that.
Huh. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's neat.
You may continue. If Tekken stops sidetracking us.
No, I'm done. That's what I've been playing.
So
If you want to carry the ball,
I am disappointed.
There's a
Of
fifth
Type
Wild
Zero.
Arms game? Wow.
There was. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it on the podcast because one had to have come
That
out
was a
while we
long
were.
time ago.
You
I feel old.
said the fifth one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that had. I'm pretty sure that came out while we were podcasting, wasn't it? Didn't it? Because I have it.
Is it a remake of the third one or something, or the first one or something? Or is that a
No,
different
the
one?
remake of the first one is Alter Code F.
Oh.
I have mentioned that one. I know I
Well.
have because I've recently, but the fifth one I'm pretty over the. It had to have come out in the past 20,000 years that we've been podcasting. So pretty sure.
Xenosaga. Okay, I'm done.
Please do, because I mean, now you're making me miss these games because like I love Xenosaga. So
see, the sucky part is like RPG has them,
I do.
whereas Tekken and I, perhaps,
I have the first two, but not the third one.
we would have to like hunt
Third
and
one was
spend exorbitant
I know,
amounts of
eBay.
money.
Ugh, don't even get me started.
Come on, PlayStation. Just put them on the PlayStation Store.
I thought they put
everyone
didn't
happy.
they put Xenosaga on the PlayStation Store?
Xeno Gears is on there.
Whoops, that's not the same game at all.
So Tropical's done. Have you already talked about all your Type Zero stuff RPG?
What? No, we didn't even talk about Type Zero because he
I
just
did, sort of. I talked about the combat and like how I didn't know I was getting hit.
he said he started it, and
Yeah.
that's about as far as you went.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
anyways, so I've been playing Monster Hunter, and we've been doing the whole online hunting thing and whatnot, and trying to get Dagger's sister and her. She like forced her brother to play it too. So now we were trying to like level him up over the past weekend too. But he's like really slow though. So it's like we can't keep playing with that guy. He's a noob. So we just so she like half the time she just told him to do certain stuff offline so he can semi catch up, I guess. But he's not going to. So I made it to G rank. So yeah, like you. That's like you. So yes, I made it to G rank online. So now we get to do all of the hard missions because why not? So fun happens, and you get to like fight all the new subspecies of some of the monsters and all that new stuff. So we spent most of the time trying to make new armor sets because our old ones weren't doing the job very well, and we kept getting violently murdered by things, and then it's just like, oh,
Okay.
we should probably upgrade.
I'm gonna ask a stupid question. How do
Oh
you
dear.
craft armor? Do you do it yourself, or is there a craftsman who does it for you?
Oh, you go to the blacksmith and
Oh,
do
so
it.
he actually
You,
does do
you
it.
don't do it. Yeah, he
Oh,
does it.
okay. Because you were saying something about like buying armor is not as good, and I was like, okay,
Oh,
so how do I make armor?
because there's two. Well, yeah, that because there is an armory that sells armor, but there's a separate blacksmith that crafts it. So
Mhm.
they're not the same store. They're like usually like near each other, but they're
Okay.
not the same store. So yeah, you actually have to make stuff.
Because I was sitting there in my combine menus, and I was like, am I just supposed to combine them? And I was like, none of these
No,
seem to work.
that just makes you items. That does not make you armor
Sucky.
at all. so,
Because
so
that's
no,
what
you
crafting is, combining things.
you would be combining mega potions till the cows come home, but they will not make you better suits of armor. So no, you actually have to go to the
Well, I
blacksmith
looked
and
for
have
sturdy stuff like bones and rocks, but yeah, it wasn't working.
no, that does not do anything. That will just start making you like bombs and stuff. But no, you actually have to craft your armor. So I ended up finally getting my G rank set made. I don't know if Dagger got hers or not. 'Cause she was using an old one. I think she was in the middle of crafting like a throwaway set for the time being, because like we kind of were getting fed up with the whole not being able to survive certain monsters. So it was like, okay, we need to work on our armor sets because this is. I mean, I guess our armor carried us far enough where it's just like, okay, we somewhat got a decent length, but it's time to go ahead and upgrade. So I ended up making a Sorregio set, and I don't know what she made, but yeah, we worked on that stuff, so we can actually start doing the harder hunts now, and hopefully not suck because that was fun, except when it wasn't. I think she beat the game though recently.
Yeah, I saw that tweet.
Like she posted it or something. So I mean I'm farther than her on the online stuff, but she's already beaten the game. I haven't. So because I think I'm on like 9 star quest, and I think there's 10 stars for that VT said that there was. So I'm I'm almost there. I guess not there yet. So getting there. But I mostly play online more than I play single player. I only play single player when I need like specific stuff. When I don't need like a whole team of people to do. So there's that. So we're just pretty much just playing that, and I like some of the subspecies of the monsters because like the new moves and stuff are kind of amusing, but they are also harder as a result. So that is a thing. Then I also I wouldn't say I was really playing like Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters. I mean I did like some brief story stuff, but I kind of got sidetracked by the that in-game board game that they have, and I think it's because I keep losing it that I keep trying to play it because I was like I'm gonna play this until I win, and it's like I keep trying, but it's not working, and like half the time the person who's in charge of the ghost win, or the other time like one of the other hunters beat me to them before I get to the target, because the way it works is like you're on this board and everybody has to find, or one person gets to control 4 ghosts, and but only one of them is your actual target, and whoever gets the target wins the whole match. So usually they're hidden somewhere randomly on the board and you kind of have to find them. And I'd either the ghost will knock out all the hunters or they'll beat me to them, and it's like I haven't like won yet. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, or maybe I'm just bad at predicting where they're going to be, which is not good considering the battle system itself kind of revolves around the whole predicting thing. So it's like, well, this might be a problem later on, because it's like I can't even get this right, so I'm gonna have trouble predicting the ghost in the actual game itself. So yeah, I got kind of sidetracked, but I will win that game. I will eventually. hopefully, or otherwise I'm never going to get through the story because I'll just be stuck trying to play the same thing over and over again until it's like, hey, just let me win, guys. Just take a loss. Take a loss for me. So that's been going on. Sigh. Although, are there any real board games like that? Because, hmm. Anyway, so and I picked up Type Zero Monday night actually, and I wanted to get through like all the tutorial stuff before I started streaming stuff because I was planning on doing like a whole marathon stream, but I kept like half streaming and half not streaming when I was doing stuff because I kept stopping to eat and stuff and everything and catch up on TV shows. But yeah. I'm not sure how long the game actually is, but I'm at the beginning of chapter 5 now. I mostly just spent all of today trying to get everybody's summer outfits, so I haven't actually played any of the story in chapter 5. So I was just shut up, Tekken. But I spent like I spent like most of the day just like trying to get the kill strikes for everybody so I could get everybody's summer uniforms, and I only think I got like 8 of them so far. So still got some work to go before I get the other 6. Yeah, 14 of them. So yeah, I have to. So much work. So I spent most of my time doing that. So I haven't actually done any story stuff in chapter 5 yet. But where to begin? For those I guess for people who aren't like familiar with Type Zero, it's part of that whole Faba Crystallum, whatever has a trinity of games that was supposed to be 13 verses in Agato at the time, I think it was called. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, that. And it's about a class of child soldiers. Which I don't think they've done something similar in Final Fantasy VIII because those guys are kid soldiers kind of too.
Yeah.
I think Christus is like the oldest one in the group. She's like 18. So yeah, they're child soldiers. And although it's, I guess 8 in comparison is more lighthearted.
Kinda.
Because Type Zero is decidedly is not. It also does not have a love story as a central theme. So I don't think love is going to conquer all this time around. So this is probably not going to end well because it never does. People should not use children as soldiers. You'd think they would learn, but no, they do not. So there are 14 playable characters. This is like the most since 6. Was it 6 or 5? I'm pretty sure it was 6. Yeah, the most since 6. That they've had so many. So that, but since 6 was turn-based and this is decidedly it's not, it's a bit more difficult to play because all the characters have different fighting styles and weapons, and there's a lot going on with like timing and all this stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. So I don't know. I mean, I already have my favorites I usually use in battle, but I try to keep everybody leveled up equally just in case, because you know how some games are where it's just like, haha, you're forced to use this character, and because everyone else, they're off getting kittens out of trees or something, some excuse that they usually use. So I don't know, it's kind of random, but yeah, I've been doing that. But I don't really know what to talk about though, because it's like
You like it?
I do so far.
Okay.
I mean, the battle system's fun because, like I said, it's like each person or each of the students or whatever have their own fighting style and stuff. So it's like it's not just go in and just tap this button to win kind of situation. So it's like, for instance, I think it's 8. Wait, it's not 8. It's crap. I don't remember. but it's the guy that uses the katana. He unlike the other people who are, whenever they're running around with their weapons drawn, they can still run around. But with him, he kind of like inches around because he's like holding his katana in ready stance or whatever. But he also has like one of the fastest dodges in the group. So it's like you can like sidestep things really quickly and like close the distance really quickly to do like counterattacks and everything. So he's good for getting kill strikes in and like and doing like counterattacks and things like that. Whereas somebody like Eight, oh yeah, because Eight's the brawler. He's like one of the fastest characters, and once you like upgrade him, he can like pretty much run circles around anything on the field. And he uses like a bunch of quick punches and everything and combos that you can kind of like string together to stun enemies and everything. And you can also like upgrade their abilities and everything. And unfortunately, you can only like equip certain ones that are like a certain number at a time. So you kind of have to pick and choose, I guess, whichever is good for your play style. But yeah, it's some thought to go into it. Otherwise, you go on a mission and people will die quickly and a lot, and that would be bad. But I mean, you have 14 people to choose from, so it should be fine because you could just summon up somebody else whenever the other one dies until you run out of all 14, and then in which case you lose, I'm assuming. So don't do that. That would be bad. But yeah, there's stuff and things like chocobo breeding and arena fights and secret trainings and other stuff and everything. Oh wait, did you get the chance to do the real time strategy thing yet?
Not yet.
Oh, huh. Wait, is that chapter 2? Huh, I guess it's in chapter 2 then. Because there's like another gameplay portion that's kind of like a real time strategy thing where you're like the idea is to like push the opposing army out of the land that they're occupying. And the way it works is like it's like they send like a little squad of soldiers out along these directions or whatever, and then like the opposing city sends out theirs, and like your goal is like you pick as one of the characters from Squad Zero, and you help them by attacking the squads that are coming out, and then as they move over, they capture neighboring cities, and once you capture the cities, you can order those cities to deploy troops, and you can choose what type of troops they deploy, and then send them to certain cities. So you keep doing this until you completely occupy your territory. And also during this, like certain cities you can actually invade with class 0. So like once it gets to a certain point, you actually send the class in and it plays out like the normal battle system does, but then it'll go back to the whole real-time strategy thing where you're trying to take them out of your occupied land and everything. So there's that as well. So, but yeah, I did not know I could have sworn they did that in chapter 1. Did they not? Or did chapter 1 end like right after that mission?
Yeah, chapter 1 was right after that first thing. And then chapter 2, well, I guess the pattern is going to be there's a cutscene and then you get to play. And so the cutscene was playing and I was like, okay, this is taking too long. I guess I have to go now. So I never got to see, or I never got to play in chapter 2 yet.
Once you start, the way it works is like you actually have quote unquote free time in between missions, and it's there's like a counter at the bottom of the screen that tells you how many days or hours you have of free time, and during doing certain things kind of takes up time. Like there's like certain people that have like exclamation points over their head or whatever in the school, and by talking to them it uses up 2 hours of free time, or like leaving the city to go to like the overworld map and do stuff there takes out 6 hours of free time. And like doing the expert trials takes out 12 hours, and it's like different, and doing the class lessons I think takes out 2 hours too. So it's like different things like takes up your free time, and then you do the missions and all that stuff. So it's like you have free time and then missions and stuff. And during this thing you could do side quest or do like arena. Well, the arena doesn't take up time, but you could do like side quest and other stuff like I guess upgrading your spells and all this other stuff that you can do in your free time until your actual missions, and then you could do that as well. So there is that. So yeah, because I forgot chapter 1 is pretty much just that mission. And then, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of it, I think.
Okay. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 80% sure right now after looking up research while she was talking that it was Radiata Stories. But yeah. Is that how you've been playing
Yeah,
RPG?
I would have to check that because I don't know if I could. Cause I think I have already out of stories.
Cause I'm so sure. Like my brain is like I think it was from Square Enix, but then I think it was a different game, but I'm not sure. It's just driving me crazy. And like look at the box art, I'm like, was it that game? I could. I used to remember. I used to know, but I don't know anymore.
Because I think the big thing with brought out of stores is mostly the whole two campaign things that they were kind of big on. So I don't know. Possibly. I don't know. It's been a while since I played it, so I don't remember.
Let's see. For me, I've been playing. Well, I'm still playing. Theatrhythm. Okay, this is like the last time I'm going to talk about Theatrhythm until I reach my goal. So I'm going to talk about my goal here. So essentially, what I'm doing in Theatrhythm is I'm just trying to get 1 million Rhythmia because I think, well, I hope once I hit 1 million, it's the cap. And it's like, yes, you've gotten all the Rhythmia, but it's probably going to happen. Okay, that's like one of my goals because it's going to take a ton of time to do that. And then the other thing I'm trying to do is get everybody to level 99. But then I found out there's something you can do, like, it's kind of like prestiging. I forgot what it's called. But you can basically, once you get to 99, you can reset them to level 1. I don't know what happens after you do that, if they get more powerful or more abilities or blah, blah, blah. So I'll wait until everybody's at level 99, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do from there. And then, I still haven't cleared out all the songs, which is crazy because it takes forever because there's so many. And then, when I'm clearing the songs, my goal is to get a triple S rank, which is essentially you don't miss any notes, and then you get great or perfect on, critical or great on all the notes too. So it's like no goods. I think you can get like one good and still get triple S, but like if you get more than one, like two goods, it's not happening. So basically, you have to like not get any misses and hit every note like a perfect rhythm. And then let's see, because I could just look up a guide to see if I've unlocked everything, but I'm like, whatever. I'll just keep playing this until because I don't really want to go. It's not that I don't want to go back to Final Fantasy X. It's just I just want to keep playing this to get everything before I move on to like make sure I've like done all I can and be like, oh, that was I got all the stuff and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, just like get all the songs or finish all the songs, get the highest rank on all the songs, and then hopefully get all the rhythmia, and then we'll see what happens then. And then well, I've only been doing it on like the expert and basic difficulty, so I haven't even started the ultimate ones because those are like the super hard. It's kind of crazy, but it's like once you get used to the craziness, it's not that bad. Oh, then finally clear out the like verse mode with the AIs because I started the gold tier, which is like the hardest one, but then I lost a match and like it said it was gonna like reset my progress or something stupid. Not reset my progress, but like make me go down a rank, which would make me go back to silver. But I just turned it off and didn't like let it save. So I was like, pfft, F that crap. So I gotta do that too. And I think with like the characters I have now and their abilities, I should be able to just like do fine. And like if I take damage, it won't. In the fight, since it's like a weird battle system going on too, it's like I should be able to just clear it out pretty easily with the certain characters I've unlocked. But yeah, besides the rhythm, what else did I play? We already talked about Destiny. Oh, Gravesman 6. So there's new vision cards out. They came out this morning because I was like on Twitter, saw a tweet out, and I was like, oh wow, new vision cards, yay! So I jumped on there. Two of them are. It's weird because like it's spelled Alpine in English, but when I watched the video on YouTube, it was like a French company, and they were saying Alpine. So I have no idea, dude, if it's Alpine or Alpine, or if it's just maybe when you're speaking French it's Alpine, but if you're speaking American or American English it's Alpine. Whatever. There's two of those. They look pretty cool. One's is like super sleek. Well, I guess I didn't check the cockpit view on one of them. The one I did, it was like super awesome digital gauge, all like awesome looking. It's weird. I go to play this game and like I'm playing it on HDMI now because that's how I'm hooked up. But like even when I play this game, it's like it still looks good. Like even so many years later, it's like wow, this is really amazing looking PS2 game. I mean PS3.
Super amazing PS3
PS3. And it hasn't really shown its stage because like I play it and it just doesn't stop looking incredible or it doesn't look bad until I guess something like comes along to just like make it look so terrible. But I guess when you're in, like racing games, that's like one of the things is like the models and the graphics, and it's like really easy to make stuff look high fidelity, and that's why they're always coming out every year, or not every year, but every console cycle. It's like, oh, here's a racing game, and it always looks amazing because they've kind of got the formula down. Um, let's see what else.
Oh,
Oh,
that's so cool.
there was
That one's out already.
those, and then there's like this Lexus racing car or something something. It's got weird lettering. It's like Lexus IS something something IRA blah 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 blah. But it's cool looking too, and pretty
Does
fast.
does the paint on the side change colors, or like what is that?
I it doesn't change colors. I think it's just like a weird like reflective thing going on.
Okay.
I don't think it's like super awesome paint or
Well,
features or
originally I
anything.
looked at it and I was like, is that supposed to be like LED lights on the side? Because it's like different colors in every picture. It's like, or it could maybe be iridescent, but it was just like, that looks really cool. I hope it's LED lights. I mean, they're just making it in the game, so who cares about cost?
I guess I have to go back and look at it, but I'm pretty sure it's not the case.
Yeah,
Um,
probably.
but yeah, I did that, and yeah, Gran Turismo 6, still all new stuff after all this time, and I still get to check it out, so yay. And I didn't have to pay for Season Pass. Oh, that's the other thing. Season Passes go F yourself. Like, that's like my new kiss of death now. It's like, if a game has a Season Pass, I'm not buying it. It's like, no, because then I know there's content in the game that's going to come out, and I'm not going to get it, and I can just wait for a price drop on the game and Season Pass, and then pick it up for less than the chop price of the game, and be like, if you, publisher, who decided to be like, oh, let's just do this to our customers, and be like, oh, we're going to withhold content, and be like, oh, we're going to slowly dole it out, and be like, yes, yes, we'll keep them hooked, and then we'll slowly break them, and they'll hate the game, but they can't stop coming back.
Man.
Destiny, I thank you for this, but you know, it's gonna cost everybody else. But you get a free pass because you're the first one. But I'm on to you now. You know, it will never happen again. So yeah, Batman doesn't have a season pass tropical, but that was Arkham Origins, not a Arkham Knight. So
Really?
yeah,
Hmm. Okay.
and then okay, a quick aside on GTA Online. So me and Gamer were trying to like play the new heists, but we can't play the new heists because nobody else has it on PS4, and the matchmaking is terrible. You can only like invite the people that are in your lobby, which is the city that you're in, and you like the options you have are extremely limited and terrible. It's like basically invite everybody of a certain rank that's close to you, which is probably not gonna be the case because we're all like me and Gamer like level like the lowest level that you can be to do the heist anyway, or invite your friends that are playing, which is like I just said, none of my friends play it. So yeah, we're kind of effed. GTA 5, go F yourself. Heist came too late. Can't enjoy them now. I guess it doesn't matter because I'm talking to Rockstar. They're like, oh, we have our money. And we just sit on our piles of Scrooge McDuck money and be like, ah, ha 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 ha, and just yeah. But yeah, heists
Wow.
will not be able to enjoy them or play
That's
them.
that's scary. You can only invite the people in the world that
Yeah, I was
you're
like, why would I play with random people in GTA 5 online? Who would do that?
Those
Why would
guys
I do
are
that?
always psychopaths.
That is like yeah, that is actually I was trying to call funny story. I was playing on the PS3 and like there's this person that got in my car and I was like, oh, I'm about to get like something violent about to happen to me. I didn't get in my car, but they're like I loaded into the world and I put on passive mode and they were like waving at me and I was like, what's going on? And then I got in my car and they got in my car with me and I was like, this is kind of scary. I need to get away with this person and ditch this person. So I like went to a race and they followed me in the race and it's like it's super weird. And they're like shooting this like flare gun, but it like wasn't explosive flares. It was just like normal happy color red flares. And I was like, this is weird. This person's like all trying to be friendly, chummy, happy times. It's a trap. Stay away, Tegan. And then I was able to like go into the race and then ditch them and be like, haha, yes. So stranger danger. Can't fool me. Trying to be friendly. Maybe friendly person in GTA 5, but I know you're evil. I know you're mean, and you're not on my friends list now. Because no way I'm gonna send you an invite. And if you send me one, I'm gonna totally ignore it and delete it. So yeah, just you're gonna get one over on me and like delete my stuff in Destiny when I'm sure playing with you, even though that's on PS3, whatever. So yeah, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're up to. You can't fool me. And yeah, weird random person on GTA 5. So yeah.
So I guess for heist then, should we gather on PS3 then, or do you have to? I guess you have to regrind, right?
No, I only have to go up like a level or two, but I don't want to play on PS3, so I'm like, whatever. I'm just not
Oh,
gonna bother with it. It's like whatever. So, uh, let's see, Mass Effect. That's the only thing I've been playing, and I finally. I was see. It's funny because I was playing, and the gamer messaged me like, "Oh, it's gonna go to the heist," and so I would have cleared Novaria and stuff. But I went to go do that, and then I got dragged in the Carter raid, and then I was like, oh, I guess I'll do this Iron Banner stuff. So totally just like I was playing Mass Effect, and then I wasn't, and then I'm slowly making progress because I finally got the completionist completionist trophy, which is like finish the majority of the game and side quests or whatever. That took like 20. My game in the time my time in the game is like 24 hours or something. So it actually doesn't take that long, I guess, if you know what you're doing to clear all the stuff. And then I'm so close to the end because it's like I just have Novaria. If I started Novaria, I'm about to go to the boss encounter part. But well, like there's like a few side quests you have to do before that, or errands. I guess they're not really side quests. And then you get the boss fight, and then there's Vermeer, and then bring down the sky, and then into the game. And that's where I'm at. I just got those. There's like 2 other side quests in the game I haven't done yet, and that's like pretty much it. And then I guess there's actually more than that, but still, I'm so close, and I can just put it off until eternity because I probably will never get around to it because Batman and other stuff on PS4. And I have no idea when I'm going to shuffle it back in and be like, all right, Femship on PS3, let's continue our adventure. Yeah, so who knows? But hey, I will be getting that platinum on Mass Effect eventually because I cannot deny myself. There the Destiny, Mass Effect, GTA. That's all. Okay. That's all I've been playing this week. However, I'm about to start this new thing up on my YouTube thingy where I'm I'm trying to like stream every day a game that's on my like PS4 that's like one of my digital games, and like I'm just gonna play it until it's finished, and then like every day I'll like stream for like 2 hours before I go to bed. And like, all right, let's do it. I'm gonna call it. I'm trying to think of like what I'm gonna call it, but it's like I'm not gonna unveil the name until I got it. But yeah, I can finally be like new games every week for the podcast as well, and be like, oh, if you didn't check it out on the stream, which you should be, and then I'll plug it myself. So yeah, first game is going to be Titan Attacks, if you're wondering, because it's been on there for like ever. It's like some free crossplay game. I haven't played it. It's like some 2D shooter thingy going on. Maybe there is no, and I'll just have to be like, oh, well, I got a good enough high score, and I'm going to move on. So we'll see. It was like, yeah, but that is all I've been playing. So I guess it's time for some RR.
Well, actually, I don't have an RR this week just because I assumed we'd be playing RPGs like Type 0 and Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters, and sort of went over those and what you've been playing. Actually, what Tekken's talking about brings me, it's a good segue to my question this week.
Yes, try to ask a question.
I am really bad at finishing games. You guys are better at it. So I'm wondering, how do I finish games?
First, you have to actually play them.
I mean, look. If you look at the situations, like RPG works a full-time job. Tekken.
Hey, me too.
Are you full-time?
Yes.
You are, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys have full-time jobs, and yet you finish a lot of games. So it's like, how does this work?
Okay. Well, personally, I think. Well, for one. I don't think neither of us buy as many games as you do.
Okay.
So that's part of it.
So too many games.
Yeah, I think that's your first mistake because it's too easy to get sidetracked when you have so many games going on. So then you're like, I want to play this, but I want to play this too, and I want to play this too, and then things start to get pushed back because it's like, well, now you're playing all this other stuff, and eventually something else new comes out. And it's like, well, now I just want to play this. So you have to kind of like pick a game that you really, really want to play when it comes out, and then just kind of focus on that, and then just be like, F everything else, just want to play this. And I know it's hard because I know you have like that whole shiny kind of thing going on.
Like a ferret.
I know like a ferret. But it's like you gotta pick it and be like, this game I am actually interested in. I'm going to invest in this, and just ignore everything else. Nothing else exists. I don't care. Just nothing else. And then just focus on playing that, because otherwise you're going to keep getting sidetracked, and then you are never going to finish anything because you just keep getting distracted by everything else that goes on. And yeah. And I mean, in my case, my genre preferences kind of help weed out stuff to begin with, so that also helps too, because then I'm not playing everything that gets released, so I don't have to worry about everything. And I mean, with some games, it's like I know I'm not going to necessarily finish them quickly, So like with Dark Souls types games I could be playing those for months before I actually full on finish them. But it's like I continue to actually play them despite other stuff coming out. So I'm just not dropping them and then never going back to them kind of thing, and then never finishing them. So
Yeah, I would say
But
RPGs.
so,
Oh, go ahead.
or actually a follow up, like this month you're buying a lot of games, right?
no, I ended up like canceling a few because I thought about it and I
Or
was like, well, I'm not going to play all of
sort
these.
of maybe. Oh, okay.
So I cut down on the ones I actually bought because I was like, okay, I'm not going to finish all of these if I pick them. So it wouldn't make sense for me to buy it and just be sitting there because I'm not going to play it. So I ended up only getting like 3 of the 7 games this month. So,
But like right now, for example, like Monster Hunter, you haven't completed, and then online, I imagine, doesn't end. And then you just got Type Zero, and last week you got the Ghost Hunters game. So it's like, is
Well,
Ghost
Monster
Hunters
Hunter-
sort of fallen on the wayside right now, or
no, I still, well, like I said, I got sidetracked inside the game. So that one was really, it's like, so, I mean, I'm still technically playing. I'm just playing it slowly because I keep trying to play that board game thing and it's just not working. But yeah. And Monster Hunter came out in February. So
right?
that was a while ago. So I had time to get through it and before I got distracted by other stuff. And you can't technically ever beat Monster Hunter. It won't let you.
So the online does go on forever.
Kind of. So I mean, I think because eventually you can technically do all the online quests, but I mean, it's probably going to take a while. And I mean, they always release DLC and event quests and stuff. So I mean, they find ways to kind of keep you playing. So I guess technically, it could, but yeah. So yeah.
All right. Well, what were you gonna say, Tekken?
Okay, I was gonna say, like RPG said about the whole like, you should have a like top of the list game. That's always like the best thing to do. Is like, whatever you're most looking forward to or most anticipated game is, and like when it finally gets here, you always want to be able to like slot it in at the top. That way, you can just play that as like your main focus, and everything else is like whatever, F it. And then until you're done with that one, it's like, well, there's other stuff. But I'm playing my most varied game right now, or my most anticipated game. I was all drooling over it, and I saw it at 3, and I was out, and I'm just being like, let's just crack out on it, and just, well, don't crack on it like me, but just
Crack out on it, Trump. No, don't listen to him. Do it.
like you bite
That
into that
actually
sandwich,
would
and you don't
probably-
stop until it's gone.
Actually, probably would help me finish some games anyway.
I think. Well, I think the thing is, the crack out thing might be good for the simple fact that it's good for when you get a new game because it's like, well, it kind of helps keep up the hype for it, kind of, because like you're constantly focused on it because you're always playing. So I think like a crack out when you first get a game is probably like a good idea. And then that way you can slowly start integrating other games in as you've already gotten kind of far in it. So then it doesn't seem like it's impossible to finish. It's kind of like the goal's there, but it's like you can take your time and get to it eventually. But if you get a new game and then like play like an hour of it and then just like, oh, okay, I'm good for now. And then next thing you know, it's like you're getting all these other things. It's like, crap, I forgot to actually play a chunk of this game. So now it's going to take me forever to finish it. And it's kind of just like becomes a juggling act that you can't win because it's like juggling chainsaws that are on fire in a volcano. And that's not a thing you want to try.
Well, I mean, if they're on fire, at least they're not running.
Wow. I'm glad that's what you took away from that tropical. Thank you.
Because I think that's like why I was able to like just blow through Far Cry and The Order and Shadow Mortar. It's like, yeah, my main game is, well, until something else comes out to replace it, because it ain't gonna be Project Cars, it's gonna be too effing late, thanks. It's like, or I guess like as I slot in other games in place of Destiny, it's like I will just be like brrr, and then it's like, oh, okay, back to Destiny as a main, and then it's like, oh, or like Far Cry 4, all right, brrr, oh, Shadow Mortar, brrr, and it's like, oh, back on Disney train, oh, Order 1886, brrr, oh, okay, well, back on the Disney train until something digital comes out or something. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, just keep on, yeah. or if there's like a game like Monster Hunter, I guess is an example that has, or not to say that it has no end, but like determine what your end game is when you're playing a game that has a certain mode like that, where it's like if you're playing Call of Duty like multiplayer, it's like, is it going to be when you hit 70, or is it going to be when you prestige however many times? Like, know when you've reached the end, so it doesn't keep sucking your time away from all the other stuff that you'd be playing in place of that, and you can keep
That's a good idea too.
focusing on the main game and not being like, oh, because like
I think that's usually what I did with like the Dark Souls games. Because like, I mean, they do have an end, but it's like you can spend so much time doing other stuff that you're like, well, now there's no end in sight, and like you can slowly make your way towards it, and just I think like Tekken said, it's probably a good idea to set like an end for like an end goal for things like that, where it's like it seems like a game may not have an end in sight kind of thing. Just like, well, I've played this game for X amount of hours, so I think I got the content down. I got my fill, and you're good. Because like you don't want to spend like 300 or 400 hours in a game and then realize it's like, well, I could have been spending some of these hours on the other games that I could have had, but I'd never ended it for myself. So, yeah.
After
Okay,
my
like
quest for the best, I was like, dude, was that really was that a good way to spend time, 1,000 hours Mass Effect 3 multiplayer? It could have went to so many other things. It's like, all you have to take away from it is the title and Emblem.
Yeah, because I think at this point, I usually only play Monster Hunters like on the weekends with Dagger, and I don't, because especially now that other stuff has come out. Because like otherwise, if I was just constantly doing the whole upgrading thing and just only playing like that game, I'd never play anything else. So then it just nothing else would get done. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna ask about the games that the perma games, basically like Battlefield or. And so, yeah, the goal thing, that makes a lot of sense. I gotta think about that.
Yeah, because like for me, like where I'm at now is basically just like a culmination of like the last 3 or 4 years of like just, first it was like getting rid of all the cases because they're just sitting there and like taunting me. And it was like, okay, well, I gotta like finally start like, getting some actual process of how am I going to work my way through these. And so now it's like, finally, the sky is cleared, and I can finally just be like, okay, well, I'm going to do the streaming this day, and then, or like during the mornings before I go to sleep, and then if I wake up and have enough time, I'll play my main game, and then if there's another game that comes out, I'll just slot that in. Or I mean, Destiny is until I know where I stand on Destiny as far as like, am I on for 10 years? Because this is good. Yeah, I don't know. This seems like it go badly, but it's like it's kind of like the permanent slotted main game until like other stuff comes out, and then I'll be like, okay, I'll play this, and then dabble in Destiny on the side. Luckily, I'm like always so at the edge of the thingy on Destiny where it's like, oh well, I just had to do a few things and I'll be at the cap again. So and then it's back on the back burner or back to just doing the weeklies or whatever. So I was able to like even decrease the time from like, oh, I'll play it every day to I'll play it once a week, because it's kind of eating away at everything else I would like to be doing. So it's such a process. It's luckily I'm there though, so it's like once Batman comes out, I'm good to be like, yep, just gonna put everything else away and just sometimes you gotta just do that and be like, yeah, it's my most anticipated game, and be like, it's the top of the list. Everything else is just like RPG said, and until I'm done with it, yeah, Batman.
Cool. I think
And then like also like some games. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, like I'm gonna have to determine that, or I think the goal thing is pretty major right now, especially because games are now designed to be played forever. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do stuff that's gonna make you think, oh man, I should go back and play that all the time, and so that has worked pretty well for me. It's like, oh, new stuff in Battlefield, oh, double XP weekend, and then so Battlefield and Destiny has been the big one right now. It's like, oh, Iron Banner again. I'm 32 with my Titan, but I really want to look all Iron Banner-y.
That I'm okay with, because the raid stuff looks terrible. So.
It's all spiky. Man, we saw a really spiky guy holding our flag the other day. But yeah, it's just like all the multiplayer games. But so, I think setting a goal in those is relatively simple. Like the one I'm thinking of right now is like SimCity type games. What am I gonna set as my goals there? So
If
yeah,
it's like,
I think
I mean, I guess it depends on like when it comes to games like that. I guess like depending on what type of city you're trying to build, I feel like I guess once you get to a certain point where it's like, okay, my city, I wanted to have X number of skyscrapers and make it this amount of self-sufficient or something like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure you get to a certain point where your city's like pretty decent, where you don't have to keep on doing stuff to it all the time. Maybe I don't know. I haven't played one since like ever, so I don't know, but that could be an option.
Yep. And then score chasing games. Well, Tekken was talking about earlier. If Titan Attacks is a score chaser, then you get to a certain score that you're happy with, and then this done. So
Yeah, luckily Resogun actually has levels, so I can be like, oh, well, once I finish all the levels, done, yeah. It's like to me, it's like once the credits roll in a game, depending on like where it's at, it's like okay, done, and I finished it, so we can move on to the next one. I mean, sure, there's some new modes that unlock or whatever, and you can just like test those out and be like, oh, what's this, and then scratch the surface. But it's not usually as in depth as the main mode of play in the game. So,
So like Gran Turismo or I guess Drive Club also. Like Drive Club, they've added tracks, so many tracks. And then Gran Turismo, they haven't added tracks, but they've added cars. And the thing about Gran Turismo is that the credits run pretty early. I think they run at the end of, I think it's International B is when you see the credits. So there's still International A, and then there's whatever the highest level is, and then
maybe you've only just begun.
Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff in Gran Turismo. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess it's stuff to figure out.
well, for me, it's like Gran Turismo is like it's like the cars are that they added, and it's kind of like what I come back, or just any like update essentially, as long as it's something substantial, because you can just go in and then like download it and then like check it out and be like, oh, okay, and like it doesn't take that much time to like go in and be like, oh, what's this new thing, and then play around with it a bit and be like, okay, I got what I needed out of it, or I got this new car, so haha, and then until the next time it does that, it's like, okay, bye Gran Turismo, that was fun.
I mean, I guess setting a schedule for them kind of would help too.
I would say
I mean,
you need to set a schedule because
becoming
it's such like a small amount of time.
Well, not like a literal like sit down and
Thursday 5 to 10.
I kind of figure out kind of like how you're doing with that terrible idea of playing through save points of Final Fantasy 9, like something similar
That's
to that.
That's actually working.
Like,
it's just taking.
I know, but well, that's what I'm saying. It's like that. Like something like that is kind of like you scheduling your game time for that game. It's like you play between save points and you're still playing it. I mean, it's terrible for that type of game, but it's like it's a good idea like overall. So then you're actually making progress. So I mean, eventually you will finish it in like some years down the line, but it's like you will. And I think like just like setting aside like scheduling your games like that kind of thing can kind of help you finish too, because then you kind of have like you have that goal in mind. It's like, well, I'm getting to this next point, and then and then I'll pick it up next time, and let's repeat until I'm done. So
it'll be the celebration for episode 500.
Like Tropical Final
Fantasy 9.
It's like Tropical. I've already finished Final Fantasy 17. What is going on here? It's like get it together. But yeah. So there's that. I mean, I figure eventually your daughter will be old enough to help you play games, and then you could just watch her play. And then that would help too. You'd be like, no, Dad, I got this.
Spectator. It's going to be great.
So you make sure to start her early. So
I think she's further along than most babies her age.
Better.
Oh my gosh. I have seen I think these kids they range from 2, well, there are 4 of them, and each one was a year apart. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. and they wanted to play.
From the same family?
Yeah, they're the same family.
That's terrible.
I don't know why they did that, but all boys. Like,
oh God,
it was amazing.
Dear.
But yeah, they wanted to play New Super Mario Brothers, and each one grabbed a Wiimote, and like, not a one of them knew how to play Mario. I was like, run to the right, run to the right. Some of them don't know what right is. And I was like, okay, like push that button to jump. And I was like, so you want to jump over there? And no one jumped. Everyone fell in the hole. And I was like, okay, so it's like, oh, we have Mario Kart at home. So okay, so we'll try that one. And 4 of them tried to play Mario Kart. Not a one of them knew how to play Mario Kart. It was just like, this is amazing. Like, I thought kids were really good at figuring out games because they're, you want to play them. And yeah, they just did not know how to play at all. It's like, this is really sad. And then I have my 2-year-old, and she's, she can complete races in Mario Kart and like
halfway through
run around and like throw Pikmin and pick stuff up and bring them back to the ship and grow more Pikmin. It was just like, and like she can get through. She doesn't like to get past that part, but she can get through the very beginning of Wind Waker. Because you get past a point and it becomes dark and monsters and stuff, so she never goes to that point. She just likes to run around the island and pick up the pigs, and which was amazing. I was like, wow, you know how to pick up the pigs? Like, you can't just run up to them and push A, because usually... You guys have played it, right? Like, you run up and you try to catch the pig that way, and you usually do the roll. But yeah, she has the discipline to run up to it and then release the stick and push A to pick up the pig. It was just like, wow.
She knows what makes her happy, so she made sure to figure out how to do it. She's like, yes, I got this.
So, yes, I think that's early enough. I don't know of any other kids who can do that.
She's on a good path.
Yeah, just keep her away from those macaroni and cheese games. I think that's why they don't know how to play Mario. Just saying how to go too much.
That's probably what it
swipey,
is.
Swipey, touch screen. Oh, it does all these.
Their parents gave them like iPhones or something to play games on. It's like that's not how you play a game.
Oh, look at this angry bird fly across the screen. Oh. Hit the bricks and stuff. Yeah. Oh. Ugh.
Yeah. Keep her away from those.
Cool. So I got some pointers. Hopefully you listeners out there got some pointers on maybe backlog and stuff like that. I mean, I think it applies. But it's mostly for new stuff for me, or just whatever I'm playing at the moment. Which is generally, like, I can't point to one thing. If someone asks me, what are you playing right now? It'll be like 12 different things.
Everything.
Yeah, I think my one game a month thing really helped on that. Because I was like, well, I can play this one game. And then if I finish it, I can work on my other stuff on the side or backlog stuff or whatever. And then it's just like, use that core idea of just like the one thing at a time. And one thing at a time, you get through it, and then go from there.
Awesome.
All right, so we're in the news section now.
Sure.
Did we talk about the new rock band last week?
Oh, I guess not.
I don't think so.
We ended the episode, and I was like, wait, I forgot to talk about the new rock band. Oh well. But yeah, new rock band's in development, so we'll see what happens. Apparently, backwards compatible
was actually
with
announced.
The current controllers.
You're welcome, no one.
Yeah, it's sort of exciting. I think more details are really needed. I mean, if it's just going to be sort of a rehash, then
I mean, I'm kind of.
What is the point?
What can they
People
do,
still
What
have.
can they do to make it any different than what it was?
Well,
Besides, look at the graphics. Aren't they much better?
yeah. See, I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think graphics are really good.
I think it's actually going to be.
It's the same, core game of like you push the buttons on the instruments and you hit the notes and so.
Well, I mean, I think the only problem is because like when they initially did it, it's like Well, I thought
'Cause I
that's going
never
to
picked
happen.
up Rock
But I think
Band because of that.
I think what it worked before when they did like another iteration of it because like they added, wait, was that did they make more than one
Yeah,
rock
there's
band?
Rock
Because
Band,
now
Rock
I'm
Band 2,
confused.
Rock
Because
Band
it was like,
Gourmet, and
oh,
what
okay,
was the
because I
Or
third?
get
there are three
confused
main
between
ones.
Okay, I was like,
And
was
then
there a
there
third one?
was
I couldn't remember.
yeah.
because
Rock
because I
Band.
know before it was like in between didn't or like the first one didn't have like certain instruments and then they added more instruments and then extra vocal people and for the like the but it's like at least I think that's what happened. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think I played like one of the later ones, so I don't remember. But I don't know. I don't know what they would. The thing is with like a new iteration, it's like, well, I mean, I guess they can add new songs and stuff, but it's like eventually you can only add so many instruments before it's just like you need like a moving truck when you buy this game to take it home. It's like okay, so it's like here
Um
buy this literal band with Rock Band. Like oh.
I mean, core gameplay, yeah, that's not going to change. It's going to be a rhythm game. But as far as, I mean, I guess it depends on what type of experience Rock Band is supposed to be. And I think for some people, it's the fantasy of being a rock star. And so there are things that they could do in the game that could enhance that experience.
Oh, I guess that is true.
Oh.
But, I think when we look at what features the consoles have nowadays, it's probably gonna have things like fancy, I don't know, video editing, things like that, and make your own music video things.
Oh yeah. Do stuff like that.
Man, Rock Band 2 is really cool in that I think that was the one where you could actually buy merch for your characters. So you can make your characters and then upload them to Rock Band website. And like you could get a 3D printed like your band, or you could get your band t-shirts and things like that. And it was like that's part of the Rockstar experience. Generally you don't have to buy them as a Rockstar, but you were buying everything anyway, so they figured why not? And then Rock Band 3 was the one where they added the keyboard.
Actually, I've
So
never
they
played any Rock
added-
Band games, so it's like whatever, dude, to me.
Oh,
It's like
really?
just another
I think I
music
played
instrument game.
2. Somebody.
Yeah, I had the first two.
Well, I didn't actually own them. I think I played them with because when I was back in New York, I played with somebody because I remember doing the vocals and that was and I don't think Guitar Hero had that, so that would have had to be
Yeah.
man. So
Well, later Guitar Hero did. Like they got the drums and everything also.
oh no, it was Rock Band. I remember
Mhm.
it was because Guitar Hero, but yeah. But I mean, I guess they didn't like announce any like details on it though, did they? They just pretty much said that it was in the works kind of thing, or
Yeah. Well, they said it was coming to, I guess we're calling them current gen now. And
I mean now calling them that's a new
I have
release.
been. And then the work, so they're working with the platform holders to see if they can get the accessories to work from the previous ones, and then the DLC to work as well.
Hmm.
Could be cool.
Would there be an issue with the old ones trying to work with the new consoles, or
Xbox might. Like, I know PlayStation stuff basically can work. It's just they have to allow it.
oh
So, like, the Disney Infinity pad from PS3, that works on the PS4. But the one from Xbox 360 doesn't work on the Xbox One. You had to buy a new pad. So, yeah, I think there's probably something there for PlayStation where it can work. It's just a permission type thing, and they have to put it in there, obviously. The DLC one is more complicated. That's like licensing and all that legal stuff that we actually don't care about.
the fun stuff.
It could be exciting, but yeah, there's not enough details right now. So right now it just seems like, oh, Rock Band died because we overflowed the market, so we stopped a little while.
I mean, did they
And
really?
So now we can do it again.
There were only like 3 of them.
Do it again.
Well, it wasn't just Rock Band. It was just like Rock Band, Guitar
Oh.
Hero.
Hopefully they learn their lesson and they'll be like,
Yeah.
Rock Band 5, because we needed another one after the fourth one, because we couldn't just update it with the software updates, because, you know, this
I think
isn't 2015
I
in
think
the
yeah,
future.
the problem was it's just like all the peripherals. At one point, just like I can't keep buying all these these packages. It's like it's too much. So it probably didn't help matters. Mm.
Actually, there was major Nintendo news this week
Oh,
where
that was
they,
insane. That was insane.
yeah, they're partnering with a giant Japanese mobile company, and there's gonna be Nintendo properties in mobile games at some point.
Dun, dun,
In Japan.
dun.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Never
which
seen
is
it.
this is what all the shareholders wanted, so their shares went up like it was only like 25% for the
What?
past 2 days. It's crazy. But in order to ensure everyone that Nintendo is not jumping out of dedicated game hardware, they also announced that they're working on some Nintendo NX, which is their next console.
Now, I'm a little concerned about this because if it for in either case, it's still kind of soon because like the Wii U just came out and like they just released a new 3DS, so it's like I know their their work on it could just be like still years from now, but it's like I'm a little worried because what if come E3 they're like, so you got this new console coming out next year, and it's like, wait a minute,
That would be really stupid. I mean, they were around for when Sega did that
Yeah.
stupid stuff and ended up not being around anymore. So
Sega's still around in the console market, but
like,
yeah, I'm just
hopefully,
concerned.
and it's the same people at Nintendo. Like, that's one thing that Nintendo has. Like, their people haven't really changed. Everyone who was there at the time is still kind of there now.
Just I don't know. I'm just worried. I'm just like I don't want them to do something stupid like this. It's just like guys, you just came out with like 2 new hardware thingies. Don't do what you're doing right now. So
Still
I'm worried.
waiting for games on Wii U.
I'm
I'm
worried.
still waiting for the Wii U price drop to the magical 250 price where I can finally buy
Yeah,
it.
that hasn't happened yet either.
When
And
Nintendo
last time I
NX
checked,
comes
they
out.
weren't exactly lighting up the sales board. Just saying.
Well, their handhelds are doing fine. It's just
handhelds,
their
handhelds.
console just it's
Oh yeah, MPD was last week, I think, for
And PlayStation 1
February.
again. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
PlayStation is still on top first 2 months of the year. Although I think 3DS actually was the top selling.
it was the 3DS is
Oh,
the highest one, but
Good for them.
home
Yeah,
console
home
wise,
console.
PlayStation was higher for them.
And actually, I think software PlayStation was higher this month or February also.
But then again, I buy all my games digitally now, so that does that metric of measurement is completely outdated to me. So whatever.
Perhaps even more software was sold that MPD doesn't know about, which is sort of crazy. Like everyone thought. So there was this thought that maybe Xbox One didn't sell as many in January because there was 1 or 2 weeks where it did go up to the regular price again, but then now they have this pseudo permanent $350 price, and so I think the thinking was, we're gonna go back to winning like in November and December, and that didn't happen. Granted, what was that game? The Order came out in February. I think it was only on the market for 8 days. Came out on the 20th, right?
I guess I don't know. I don't remember.
So it was like 8 or 9 days in February, and it actually placed in the top 10 best-selling software in
Good,
February.
because I'm glad the negative reviews did not drive people away or be like, oh, no, I'm not gonna play this game. It's only 10 hours long.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, actually. So the PlayStation train keeps on trucking. Do trains truck?
I don't think such optical, but whatever. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Gotta keep on pushing. Yeah, so there was that.
I think it'll be interesting, like looking back on like 360 Xbox One to like where the market shifted from like just being about like bro dude shooters to being more about like essentially just like a very varied taste of experience of whatever you're looking for, and like it broadened as opposed to being more
Mm.
of the homogenous shooter kill stuff like it has been, or like it was, I guess, which was much needed and refreshing.
Yeah, I was thinking about the difference between indie and AAA these days, and I think indie is sort of over. Like it's not there. It's not what people think, or it doesn't mean what it used to. It just means people doing different type of games, and like even large studios are doing that, and like AAA budgets are being spent on those types of games. So yeah, it really does feel like kind of a golden age again of people just trying new stuff. And really, it's only the giant publishers who are doing the same thing over and over again. Everyone else is doing, or at least trying to do, radically different stuff to capture new audiences, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. Is like, 'cause, like the bigger AAA people aren't gonna like take the risk, but that makes them a known quantity. So it's like if I don't care about Call of Duty, which I do not, it's like they will never get me back as a customer. So it's like
Yeah.
everybody else is gonna win because it's like, oh, it's this cool White Knight game. I don't know if it looks cool. Buy it. Oh, this Jamestown game. Oh, it's such a cool 2D shooter looking throwback. Oh, check it out. Yeah, and I bought it, and I was like, yeah, haha. So it's like I feel like I don't know. I feel like I have purchasing power now again, unlike before, where it's like the rule of one or something, or a few, or just. And then it's like, yeah, I guess like I also don't feel like I'm alone. It's like, oh, I'm excited about Until Dawn. Are you excited about Until Dawn? Oh yeah, me too. It's like, yeah, thanks, guy in the corner. It's like, yeah, I got to look forward to all these different types of games besides just shoot them in the face and stuff. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
I don't know. Guy in the corner is kind of creepy for a game like Until Dawn because it's like, man, I don't know. It's like serial killer stuff going on, and he's like in the corner being all creepy and stuff. I don't know, man.
It's his thing.
I don't know. Just saying. It's like, where'd that noise come from? Oh, it's just guy in the corner. Oh, that's not funny.
It's kind of like the opposite effect of like Nintendo, where it's like there's a constant drought until the first party stuff comes out. Where it's like there's like always something to look forward to, like the spring stuff that like we're having now. It's like every week I've picked up something just because there's only one game. It's like every week I've been picking them up just because it's like, oh, okay, check it out. Yeah, it's cheap, it's neat looking, something worth checking out. 'Cause I don't think I've played any of them, but still.
Crap. Yeah, I like Miami too. Okay, so I think that's it as far as news. I can't think of anything else.
See, I think there was something else last week that happened that was like besides the Rock Band thing, but didn't come back to me. I can't remember what it was. Ah, curses. Oh well.
Yeah, I can't think of anything either.
Did you guys watch Powers yet? Because I watched every episode.
Not
I
yet.
have not. I almost downloaded it and I was like, I'm not gonna actually watch this. And I was like, I
Actually, I don't
don't
think you have to download it. I
know.
think you just stream it from Music Unlimited or Movies Unlimited or whatever.
Yeah, from video. Or now it's called, or is it
I think it's video on
Yeah, Video Unlimited.
something.
Video Unlimited?
Yep.
Okay.
But I mean, because it's like I was reading the description and then looking at the screenshots, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, so I didn't watch it yet. I'm pushing it off. I mean, I will eventually. But I'm just like, there's so many superhero things on TV right now. It's like I need to kind of I don't know. I need to watch something not superhero related. I guess I don't know. All my video games and TV are pretty much all super powered people going on right now, so I just need something normal in there. This is why it sucks that I don't have cable, because I can't just like watch Food Network to cleanse my palate. So it's just like all super powered people all the time.
Oh man. Okay, this is an aside. Like, I got Sling TV to try out, and I can't get used to watching TV on someone else's schedule anymore. Like, I haven't had cable in over a decade. And the other day, I wanted to watch the finale of Star Wars Rebels,
Mhm.
And it was just like, oh, it's on at a certain time. I have to go watch it at a certain time. It's like, this is weird. And then on Monday, I think is when Walking Dead is on AMC, and I was like, oh, I want to watch that. But then I was just like, oh, I have to. Well, I didn't see the first half of the episode because, yeah, I'm just not used to watching on other people's schedule anymore. I'm used to saying, okay, I want to watch Flash now, and I'll turn on the PS4 and go to Hulu and then watch Flash from the very beginning. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna keep it. It's just that time has passed. Perhaps not a good sign for PlayStation View, which I think launched today in 3
Did it?
cities in the US.
Because I see that there's a trial thing that you can download.
Oh, maybe it's in your city. It's not in mine,
No,
so I was
no,
just like,
it's not in mine. I've seen that they were in it. It's like I think it's like New York, some Chicago, and some other place that isn't where I am. And I think the trial is just for PlayStation users in general, and like the actual launch is in those cities. So
oh well.
But I am curious though.
So yeah, another episode, Aimless Babble Z. Until next time, check us out, aimlesspodcast.com. Also follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and subscribe to the Twitch channel and on YouTube as well, and iTunes.
Anything to say until next week, RPG?
Video games.
All right, so yeah, like Tropical said, check us out, and what will we play next week? Who will finish a game? Will anything come out that we're just dying to talk about on the podcast? Who knows? Find out on the next episode of Aimless Babble Z.